Welcome to Giggles and Goals, where we help you do what you're supposed to do. New mindset, new launching, no procrastinating.
And today we're discussing the 9 daily habits that can help balance and transform your life. Let's jump into it. Let's start with our one-liners.
Okay, I'll go first. So, my one liner this week is since being a mom, I'm all about playtime. But one thing I don't play with are my priorities.
Holla. We're just supposed to say period. You're supposed to say
Period.
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 Period
Okay.
with a D and a
Yeah,
T.
and a T.
Okay, mine is show me your habits and I'll show you your future. Now, I think I might have plagiarized that, but I don't even know
Definitely.
for sure.
Well, we don't know. We don't know where it came from, but I know I heard it before. And
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I
I
did too.
believe I believe it's 100% true as well.
I do
So,
too. You are what you do, you are what you eat, you are what you listen to. Everything that we pour into ourselves
yes, is
is
what
a
you
reflection.
meant. Exactly.
You
So,
are what you prioritize, all the things.
yes.
So, next, I want to do Who Said That? It's my week, and I'm really excited
Hey.
about this person because this person
Ooh.
has been doing new, amazing things this year. And it's really exciting because this person has already done a lot. So, them doing new things is a cool thing. So, anyway, here's
Mm.
the quote.
Okay, I can't wait for the hints.
Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. Okay,
It's really good. Mhm.
so
Mm.
this is a man,
Man, men don't get to shine around here that much.
a black man.
Okay.
He's a family man. He has children. I think he's a boomer. I think
Is this
maybe
Will Smith?
no, but he's not
Okay.
that. Will Smith is not quite a boomer.
Oh, I you
He's married. He's been married for like decades. He's one of those celebrities who actually had a marriage that worked. His kids are adults.
Oh, Denzel. Yeah.
Denzel. He recently got ordained as an elder in the Church of God in Christ, and
I
he's
didn't know he
out.
was coaching.
Yeah, yeah, he's
Okay.
been coaching a long time, but he actually just got ordained in New York or something. He got rebaptized, and
Wow, that's
yeah,
amazing. He's
so
an
he's out.
elder in the church. So, you are definitely Kojic royalty.
Oh my God, no.
What does that mean?
So, like an elder is eligible to become a pastor, pretty much. So an elder
Okay.
preaches, an elder, they go through, and I don't know if every state's different, but you go through like kind of like a Bible college. If not through the denomination, then like you go to like a seminary. But
Mhm.
those are elders. Like they do the extra steps to educate themselves about preaching the word and pastoring people and being shepherds of people. Ministers, like, I don't think you have to do any type of formal training. I think like I could say I'm a minister.
Mhm,
But
mhm,
elders, like, they're preparing to become leaders or
mhm.
pastors in the church. So him being rebaptized and becoming an elder and wanting to like go into ministry, I don't know full time because he's still Denzel Washington, but it's really cool. He
I mean,
rededicated
he
his
could
life.
be I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, just him rededicating his life at this age. He's in his 60s or
Mhm.
something like that. I think it's really cool.
They probably got, like, a celebrity Kojic church somewhere. I know celebrities go to churches, but they probably have their own fellowship.
Probably like a little support group.
Bible studies.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll lead the Bible studies.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm sure he's gonna save a lot of souls just because he's Denzel and people are gonna want to listen to him. So I
Yeah.
think him using his influence. I mean, I've heard he's always been kind of even before he got rebaptized. I've heard other celebrities say that Denzel has been like one of the wise men in the industry. Like even
Uh-huh.
when Will Smith had his little slap moment.
Right, I'm about to say he had to, chill Will Smith down and
Yeah.
coach him to the moment, and it's so funny that you said that because I think I thought about what Will Smith said Denzel told him at that time, which is, "At your highest moment is when the devil will try to show up,"
Mhm. Mhm.
essentially, and
Yeah.
I was just rethinking that, for several reasons I'll tell you off camera.
Okay. But another thing that I know, like, there's this Christian rapper Lecrae. Do you remember Lecrae? So
He's a rapper that happens to have Christian content is what he likes to say.
okay, well, he be. I love you, Lecrae, but you be okay. So
Wait,
anyway,
what?
he
I
just
don't
be
you
doing
know,
the most. Like
I've missed the
he
memo.
wants to walk that line so hard. I'm like, boy, you a church boy.
Oh, okay.
So, but he said that Denzel once told him, always leave the parties before the devil arrives.
Well, yes, because the devil because that's a Diddy party. Okay,
What
that's
I think he meant, I don't know if
specifically a Diddy party.
I think he meant that in general though. Like he was telling him, like, you don't need to be the last one at these parties. You don't need to be the one caught up in these
Right.
environments.
Because
So
I'm sure it wasn't only Diddy's parties that was out there when the
no, I'm
devil was
sure.
lurking. But
Diddy
that
just did
was,
it to the next level with
I
baby oil.
mean, he did it to a level where he got caught, but I'm sure.
No, me too. So I just think Denzel's always it's one of those things like when you're called to do whatever you're called to do, like you can do everything else on the way, but that calling will never like you'll always see elements of that in your life. So it's
That's
like he's
right.
finally saying yes. And
Mhm.
so it's really cool. So I'm excited
That's
for
how I
him.
feel about my life. I'm not gonna speak for you, but it's like, even with this platform that we created, it's not a place for ministry, but it's within us. It's our
That's who we are.
calling. Exactly. So that it will be, woven throughout anything that we do.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So I think it's cool. So we'll see what Denzel does now that he's a ordained elder.
Oh my goodness.
But
That's
I'm excited
crazy.
about this topic because
Me too.
I think in the last probably like 6 months, probably since we started this podcast, I think both of us have been like revamping our lives, always like looking at what we're doing, changing it, shifting, figuring out how we can get the things done that we want to get done and do it in a balanced,
Right.
healthy way.
Mhm.
So we made a list. It's collectively a list between the two of us of habits, daily habits that have changed our life. So mine was first, and mine was I start my morning slow on purpose. I start my morning slow on purpose. And so this is something that's kind of probably new to my life. I've never been a morning person. Like, let's be clear, like I do not defrost till 10. Um, but the issue I used to feel, especially when I worked in the office and I had to be to work at 9 or 8, I would wake up like with like just enough time to do just what I had to do. And I would wake up like frantic, like running to the bathroom, let me get dressed. Nothing could go wrong. And I'll always get to work like right on time. But don't let a bit of traffic, don't let me forget something and have to go home because then I would be late. And so I was functioning like that for a long time. So I always felt flustered and I always felt like my day would be off. Like it would take a lot to kind of calm me down. So since January, I started purposely starting my day slow. So I'm still not a morning person, but I wake up earlier so I have time to settle into my day. I'm not waking up frantically trying to get something done and then my whole day is like frizzy. So I'm waking up slow. I lay in the bed for a minute, even though I'm awake. I lay in the bed for a minute. I calm down. I think about, okay, when I get up, I'm going to do this, this, that. I plan out what I'm going to do. I spend some time in prayer. Like I just take my time. Okay. I do not rush. And waking up early is like, although I don't like waking up early, I'm still not getting up super, super early. And so I like that bit of time in the morning that I have with myself. So I love that. So yeah, so that's my daily habit that's kind of changed the mood of my days and the spirit of my days. So that's
I
mine.
love that. I love that. And I was trying so hard not to crack up because I'm like, that sounds like such a person who ain't got no kids. Let me tell you, I was like reminiscing on my days where I could just lay in bed. Oh my
But
God.
isn't that why moms do that 5 a.m. club stuff so that you
I
can have that
mean,
time before the
well,
kid?
not when I have a toddler. I had a stint where I was doing when I was in the 5 a.m. club, and it was very meaningful. But now I have almost a 2-year-old, so I'm getting all the Z's I can get. Now, the benefit I have is I've always been a morning person. My body naturally gets up since I've been an entrepreneur. My body naturally gets up at like 6:30, 7 a.m. But again, since having a toddler, when I used to get up naturally at 6:30, I'm like, she wakes up screaming at 6:30. So then I'm like, like, like that's how I get up now. I don't. I used to be like Coming to America. You get up, all the music is playing, the
Mhm.
sun comes up, and it's just
Yeah.
nice and beautiful. But that's not my life anymore. Well, go ahead.
There's this week that I watched my little nephew Casey. And Casey is rambunctious. He is full of spice and energy and
Mhm.
you
I
know,
wonder how him and Maverick would be in a room together because that'd probably
I
be
did
off the
too because
chain.
he is so funny, so smart. But I know one of the things that his mom, Dawn, because she's Dawn's very organized, she's very structured, she's very calm. I don't think I've
Mhm.
ever I've known her since I was 18, so a long time. I don't think no, since I was 19. I don't think I've ever seen her flustered. Like she's just
That's wonderful.
I've
I wish
never
that could
seen
be my
her
life.
I've never seen her melt down. I've never seen her
I am
freak
off
out.
and frazzled, so
Like I'm sure it happens. I've just never seen it.
that's
And
amazing.
so one of the morning routines that she had for him, because she gave me a full list of hour by hour of how to be
Mhm.
auntie this week.
She needs to send that to me. Send me that routine.
I might still have it in my phone, but,
Okay.
she had this little sound machine thing, and it had, like, a morning song that would slowly wake him up, and so this like, around a certain time, whenever he had to go to school, she set it for whatever time before that, and so the music 'cause I would hear it when I was in the guest room, I could hear it, so I knew, "Okay, he's gonna be up in, like, 15 minutes," so he knew when the song ended, "Okay, mom's coming in, now it's time to get up."
Oh, that's so
So, he had,
sweet.
like, a slow it was some song, like a little tranquil something, but it was
Yeah.
like a slow start to his morning, and they would be like, "Okay, Casey, it's time to get up," and, like, it was like that, and then my cousin Jamia, she showed me the other day she showed on Instagram. She has the same thing for her little boy, like, it's like a little sound machine, and so in the mornings, it slowly wakes him up, and I'm
Mhm.
like,
We
"Huh."
have a sound machine, it's the Hatch or something like that.
Yeah. D
So
does yours
okay.
do that?
Well, I don't know, I never tried it. We just play her, music through the night, like her little, ambient noise at night
Mhm.
so that it could block out any noise from outside of her room, and but I didn't know you could set it for a timer for it to wake up
Yeah.
slowly, so
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really want her to wake up early, like, I want her to
No,
wake up
but whatever time she's supposed to wake up. Like, you can decide
okay.
whatever time you set it
Mm,
for, but
right.
if you want her to sleep till 9, then maybe it will start waking her up at, like, 8:45,
Mhm.
and so she'll slowly be like, "Oh, I'm wake," so it won't be like, "Ah," like, maybe it
We'll
will, like,
see, we'll
slow
see.
starter.
I'll try, but I do know, like, even though I'm a morning person, when I had to go into a 9 to 5 and I had to be at work at 8:30, that was the hardest thing
Mhm, same.
I ever had to do. It's like, I know I'm a morning person, but when I am forced to be someplace every single morning, then it's like, I'm not a morning person.
Mhm. No, I've never no, I'm so happy I don't have to go to an office anymore because it was always frantic. Like, I was
Yeah.
always, like, eating on the way or doing my hair in the car. Never did my makeup at home. Makeup
Mm-mm.
being at my house is a new life for me. Like, I always had
Mm,
it in my car.
that's
So,
crazy.
even now, like, sometimes I get up earlier than I used to. I get up, like, 7 AM, but I'm just like, when you don't have anywhere to be for a while, it just feels peaceful.
Yeah.
So that has changed like the whole flow of my day because I'm not frantically getting up like, "Oh my goodness, I gotta."
Mhm,
So that's my tip.
mhm. Okay.
What's yours?
So my next one is prayer to calm the day. So
Mm,
this I feel like this is something that you and I can share
mhm,
in. Now going back to I used to get up and like go into my prayer room and be able to have like a good 30 minutes to an hour of prayer.
mhm,
And but now it's more like either at night or in the middle, like if I'm taking a shower or something, I
mhm,
don't really get that set aside time because unless I get up at 5:30 when I know she's not going to be up because my daughter normally gets up between 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. This morning she slept till 8 a.m. So it varies depending on whatever growth spurt she's going through. But yes, I like to do that. You want to add to that?
No, I mean, same thing. I am doing better at setting intentional time for prayer. Cause same for you. Like, I'll pray in the morning when I'm like still in the bed. Like, I'm not like up, I'll do that. I definitely all throughout the day I pray, but it's not like I set aside this is dedicated time.
Mhm.
Um, Sundays I do, but I want to do a little bit more every day. I one time I was at this coffee shop in Sugarland, Haraz, and this is something I've always said about other faiths, like the Muslim faith, Islam. Although I don't believe what they believe or the way they believe it, I respect their prayer time because it doesn't matter where they are. They have their prayer mats. They will go anywhere at I don't know what their times are. I know it's like 3 times a day, but
Mm.
I was at this coffee shop and it was like 11 o'clock, and there was a group of guys next to me, and all three of them got their mats out of their backpacks, went outside to the little patio, prayed for 15 minutes, came back in, kept doing what they were doing like nothing happened. And
I love that.
I'm like, I love that too. And weren't even gone long. They left all their stuff, like 10
Right.
minutes maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it was so important to them, it was such a priority. It didn't matter where they were.
Mm.
They're gonna stop what they were doing, And so I want that. Like, I like their I'm always gonna pray to Jesus, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. But I love if I could pick up a habit from them, it would be like them prioritizing like sacred time with God that isn't you multitasking other things.
Right.
So I love that because
I love that too. And
I
I'm
feel
and I'm
bad sometimes.
I do too, but I'm giving myself grace because one thing I was telling my niece where she was like, she was feeling bad or feeling guilty that she hasn't had dedicated prayer time.
Mhm.
And I said, this is how I find comfort in it, where it's seasons. Like when I was in that 5 a.m. time, when I was for like a few months, I was getting up at 5 a.m. I was having super dedicated prayer. Like I had I set the environment where I had the lighting right. I was able to write in my journal. I read scripture. I also like wrote affirmations. I wrote reflections, and like I prayed in silence and just like allowed myself to like be centered and let God like speak through me or whatever needed to happen in that moment. I just made space for that, and I would be in my prayer room for like an hour. And even when this was also very helpful when Robert was working from home, because when Maverick would wake up, he would take her knowing that I was having prayer time, and we were both in agreement like that is really important, so let's make space for that. Now, Robert is up and out the door before we even really get started for the day.
Mm.
And cuz he's going into the office now. So it was very helpful. It was way more intentional and set aside when he was here. But going back to what I was saying about my niece, I was like, it's okay. Don't feel guilty because it can come in seasons. And when you
Yeah.
have that saturated time, that is the time that you need and really soak it in, because when your life gets busy or you get off a schedule, then you know that you have had that designated time to
Mhm.
help, fill you up. And then it just grows you spiritually as well. So when you do go off and you're a little more like disconnected from the set aside time, you're still have a stronger bond because you had that time of
Yeah.
saturation. You know what I
No, no,
mean?
I agree. And I think it's also good that you know when it's time to saturate again. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Like you have to kind of keep a pulse on where you're at spiritually. Like when you start to see your bad habits, glaring, okay. You know what I mean? When your
Uh-huh.
anger, you're a little short tempered or a little,
Yes.
snippier than regular, okay, maybe it's time to saturate again. Cause I know. Like
Yeah.
I could tell when I'm spending time with him versus not. And
Uh-huh.
like of course when you're saturated, you're super holy, you're
Right.
like
I just feel like
walking
you can
on
it's like you
water.
can touch anything, and it's like you can walk on water,
You
exactly. It
you think
feels
you
like
Moses
you're
splitting the
just
sea.
floating.
Like we've all been there. So like whenever when I am around people who are in there saturated, I'm like, oh, you walking on water this
Yes,
month?
my sister.
Okay.
Come,
All
my
right.
brother.
You healing the lane? Okay. All right. But I mean, we're not always going to be healing the lane.
No.
There's seasons
Sometimes
where
Imma
you're
cuss you out because you're getting on my last nerves, okay?
so
I ain't talked
finding
to the
out.
Lord today.
Yeah. Yeah. So finding out like, hey, I'm okay with being here in the middle. When I get too far over here, it's time to
Okay, it's time to
turn
get
it back.
saturated again. And
Yeah.
that's so the way I did, I was telling my niece like how I envisioned it, like to visualize it. I said when I was in those prayer times, so I always see myself like in a valley, right? Like I'm always feeling like I'm in some type of valley. When am I going to hit the mountain peak?
Mhm.
But and during that time of saturation, what I was imagining is every time I went to prayer, I was like coming to a room, like, you know how God says he'll prepare a table for you? But
Mhm.
instead of the table of like, good and plenty of like, food and nourishment or whatever, I was thinking I was coming to like a strategy table. And
Mhm.
so when I would go, I'm like, Lord, what's my move? What am I supposed to do? Where am I going? And I would visualize sitting at a table. And then I would visualize when I would leave prayer, I would be on my journey. So where I don't see anything, but I'm still walking in the valley. It's like you're in a desert, but it's still calm, and I'm just walking. Every time I go to prayer, I'm getting instructions just to keep going, and then God will reveal where you're supposed to be when you get there. That you
Mhm.
are where you're supposed to be when you get there.
Mhm.
And so when I imagine when I'm not in that when I'm at that saturation time, I'm at the strategy table. When I'm not on the journey. And so I have those seasons, those waves, those ebbs and flows of when I'm on the journey to where I'm getting instruction and back and forth. That's just my walk and how I visualize it
Yeah.
to help me like see like it's all connected, you know?
That's good. That's good. No, I love that. Well, the next one that I have is number 3, which is I get ready even if I'm not going anywhere. So
Oh
I
yeah, that's a good
literally
one.
me and my friend Jamaica talk about this all the time. Is like there'll be days where she's like, "Oh, I haven't done this today." I'm like, "Girl, you should do that when you wake up." But literally, when I didn't, especially when I first started working remote, and let's say I didn't have meetings that day, I will be in them pajamas all day. And I'm like, "Oh, I can't go outside. I have these pajamas on." And then next thing I know, I just didn't go outside today. I didn't put on any clothes, right?
Uh-huh.
And so about a year ago, maybe a year and a half into my job, I've been there 3 years. I'm like, no, you have to get up every day. So immediately, like as soon as I get out of the bed, I go straight to the restroom. I do not leave that bathroom until I am fully washed, clean, brushed, hair done, makeup, whatever I'm doing for the day, completely get that done. Then I go get dressed fully for the day. And that's how I am the whole day. Like I got out of the practice of too many lounge clothes because I realized my posture, not just my shoulder posture, but the posture that I have towards my day would be lax, lazy, comfy clothes, right? And so I'm like, no, I have things to do. Now, if it's like a Sunday after church, and my plan today is get home from church, take a church nap, and chill, I'll put on my sweatpants because
Mhm.
that's appropriate for that. But when it's Monday through Friday or even a Saturday where I know I have to get stuff done, I'm like, I need to get dressed and be on it because it changes my whole thinking about productivity that day. And for me, because I know when I look good, I feel good. When I look productive, I feel productive. If I put on yoga pants, I'm more likely to go on a walk than if I don't, right? So I try to prepare myself for what I want to do that day
Mhm.
at the top of my day. So,
That's good. So I have seasons. So like, everything for me is season, especially now with a toddler. So I definitely get up and I do my hair, I brush my teeth, wash my face, put on something for the day. But when I know that I'm like I don't have anything to do today, I'm definitely just like completely undone. What I need to start doing, my friend Sierra told me, she was like, and when you have kids, nothing happens unless the mom gets ready first. If you have plans to go somewhere, you will not go unless you get ready first because the husband won't get ready first and the kids won't get ready. So I need to get into practice on the weekends. If I want to go and do something, I need to get up and get dressed and be ready to go, and everybody else can fall in line.
yeah.
So I do need to apply that habit more. But for my Monday through Friday, I do get up even if I just have my tights on and a shirt, because I'm staying at the house, most likely I'm running an errand, so I don't really need to get super dressed.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be, like, corporate. Like,
Mhm.
although I work from home, I'm not gonna put on like, if I were going to the I'm not putting on slacks, you know?
Blazers and stuff.
No, but I'll put
Mhm.
on, like, an outfit that I wouldn't be ashamed to go outside in. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
correct,
Like,
correct. The same thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like,
Mhm.
it's cute casual, but it's not like sweatpants and too it even if I
Right.
do wear sweatpants, it's like cute sweatpants or something that if I need to walk outside real quick or need to go run an errand, I'm not like, "Oh, let me go change." So I'm just
Mhm.
mindful not to have on just bedclothes
Well,
or
I don't know about you, I was raised in a house where we weren't allowed to wear pajamas outside the house.
no, yeah, me either.
Like, and when we had pajama day at school, mom was like, "No."
No,
Like, "You're
no,
not
it will be a
wearing
sweatsuit. I will wear a sweatsuit.
Yes, like
Velour.
you're not wearing pajamas outside of the house, and
No,
I was like, "Well, all everybody else is doing, they get to wear slippers and stuff." It's like she was like, "No, that ain't us. That ain't
no,
you. We're
no,
not doing that."
no, me either. No, even if it's like to go to the mailbox.
Right.
That's why in my mind I just get dressed for the day because
Exactly.
if I leave these pajamas on, I'm not gonna leave the house because my
Right.
brain isn't processed
I'm
like
gonna
that.
be slouching all day. Exactly. Mhm.
So
And
yeah,
this is called Giggles and what? Goals.
goals. But go
Okay.
ahead, number 4.
All right. So then essence writing. So this is something I recently got into, and because first of all, essence writing, it helps with, I talked about it before, but it helps with you being a better communicator because it gets those raw thoughts out to where you can form them into like complete thoughts,
Hmm.
at different levels. So at like an extensive level all the way down to a very succinct level. And then it also helps with with your decision making because you know what you want to say about a certain topic. It also helps you be with creativity, because you have to write on the same topic from different lengths. So this is something that if you want to, first of all, I learned that public speaking is something that if you want to be successful in the new world, then having some skill sets in public speaking is important. And to be a good public speaker, you have to have a point of view. And if you don't know what your point of view is, then you need to practice that by writing on different topics. And so this helps you identify and narrow down your point of view. It helps you be able to parse through those thoughts that are like, because a lot of times we think we know something until you get ready to talk about it, and then you realize like you're kind of stumbling
Yeah.
over it. There's like gaps in your memory because when I learned about this, the person who was saying it was like, we remember the last thing we've heard or read, but
Mhm.
there's all a lot of times that's not enough depth for you to talk on a subject.
Yeah, you're
So
not the expert.
yeah. So but even you don't have to be an expert, but at least having a clear opinion about
Mhm.
something, writing it out first is going to be better than you trying to talk about it from off the top of your head. Especially doing a podcast, doing YouTube videos, being a consultant. Like I have to talk a lot, and I have to give my if I'm being a consultant, I have to give my point of view a lot and my recommendations. So having that stuff written out just makes it easier for me to pull from, so when I want to do a YouTube video, when I want to get on the podcast, I don't have to do a whole bunch of research beforehand, but I'm living in the things that I'm talking
Mhm.
about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good.
So that's a good practice that I've been picking up. I'm slow at it, but I'm going to start doing it more and more.
No, I love that. I know in general, I realized with me, writing things out helped me clarify just how I feel about any subject.
Right.
Even if it's not like something professional. What if it's like I'm annoyed with my family member?
That's
And
good.
if I talk about it in the moment, I feel flustered, or even if it's a, like, let's say a back-to-back argument, I'm like, "Man, I forgot to say that." Like, all these thoughts when I'm put on the spot, but usually if I have the opportunity to write out how I'm thinking, I'm able to look back at my thoughts and be like, "Well, I don't really feel that way. Let me fix that." And I can
Right.
have a more clear expression of
Mhm.
how I'm feeling. I know in the last year, I've had to have a little bit tougher conversations. I've had to set some boundaries, and I always started those conversations in writing. And I
Mhm.
would tell the people like, "Hey, I'm sending you this in writing only because I wanna make sure I articulate myself effectively and that I communicate how I'm feeling effectively. But after this, we can talk about it in person, or we can talk about it over the phone." And that has helped me so much when it comes to bridging gaps with miscommunication or setting strong boundaries, because it's like the emotion of the moment isn't taking over, because I was able to write out my thoughts and look at my thoughts and figure out, do I really feel that way? So I think in general, essence writing or journaling, it really helps you build a point of view, even if it's on what you feel. Like
Exactly.
it
And
helps
help you
you.
choose the right words as
Yeah.
well, because I say things and the way I was gonna come out off the top of my head is gonna be the whole wrong words, and then I'm gonna have to come back and say that's not what I meant to say,
Right.
but the feelings are already felt by then. So you know what I'm saying? Especially if it's gonna be a tough conversation where there will be hard feelings, I at
Hmm.
least want those hard feelings to be based on something that is what I
Yeah.
wanted to communicate. You
Something
know?
you can stand 10 toes down on. You don't want to be like
Exactly.
you're defending something that you didn't really mean. You
Exactly,
know what I
exactly,
mean?
and then you gotta be explain why. Listen, me and my
Yeah.
husband have gone through several of those conversations, like, "Well, why
Yeah.
just say it then, okay?"
So, because a penny came out for the moment, okay? I didn't mean it.
Exactly, it's like, "I didn't mean to." "Oh, so you didn't, but it was in there somewhere because you said it." See, we don't wanna go through all that.
You don't. Go ahead to the next one. Your next one,
Yes, yes,
number
yes,
5.
okay, this is the holy grail of tips. Let me
I
tell you,
still haven't tried it, but go ahead.
I will link the recipe to this in the description. Let me tell you something. I have been a girl who has always struggled with weight. I've always have been a yo-yo waiter, not a dieter, but like I would have gain weight, I would lose weight, gain, lose, gain, lose. And especially getting older and then having a child, I was like 200 pounds when I gave birth. It was like I was huge and I'm 5'2". So listen, I mean I was cute, but still, you
She was
know.
cute.
But it was a lot. But when I gave birth, I had lost like 20 pounds in a week or less. It was like 20 to 30 pounds in like a couple of weeks. So it was a lot of fluids. And so I carried those fluids around for a little bit. Like I was plump for a while. And then also having an issue with like weight and hormones and
Mm,
thyroid, and that, keeping weight on me or doing different things, through life, birth control, all that stuff. A woman's body is just, it goes through so much, and a lot can contribute to weight. I'm saying all that to say that this drink has helped me have so much physical balance that I've never had in my life. And I speak very highly of it. I can't promise it's going to do the same thing for everybody because everyone's bodies are different. But for me, this turmeric ginger drink, I could for sure say has I'm not almost eliminated inflammation for me.
that's
It
amazing.
gives me so much energy. It helps like my whole digestive system flow so well. Again, going back to energy, when I'm feeling sick, if I get a little in my throat, I drink this and immediately gone.
Mm,
And I'm like, it is literally the best thing I've ever
okay.
done. So now I don't worry about eating the things I want to eat because having this drink helps me stay balanced.
I love
So
it.
I
Sounds like
have
Dr. CB energy.
I mean, I can't this is just my
I love
experience.
it.
This is just my experience. I love this drink. So like I said, I will put the recipe below. I've never been a coffee drinker, but I would when I would have like really low energy, I would have to like go and get some type of caffeine or some like a tea or something like that. But nothing else is as useful as this because I drink it and like I don't have there's zero crash. There's like it's ginger and turmeric. It's just like a bazing when I like that's what I feel like when I drink it.
But what does it
Um
taste like?
it tastes delicious.
Really?
It tastes like so it you I sweeten it with honey and then you squeeze a lot of lemon in it so it tastes like a turmeric lemonade.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. I might
Mhm.
try it this coming week
Yes.
because I need an energy boost.
I mean, you can even look through the podcast and see from one first episode to where I am now. I want to let you know that I don't work out. And you can see the weight loss from the videos and that's just from drinking this drink.
I love it.
Mhm.
Okay, y'all. Well, it's her recipe, so do not try to steal it. Okay, give credit where it's due. If
Well,
you
I
get the
got it
drink,
from somebody on Instagram.
oh,
It's fine.
okay. Well, you
Listen,
don't
we
have to give her
sharing the
credit then.
well. And you don't gotta give me credit. Just let me know if it works for you because I do want to know.
Well, I love it. Well, it leads to number 6. Mine is make room for wellness every day. The turmeric ginger lemonade is sort of like a way of wellness, but when I meant it, I meant like every day I've started in the last few months, I leave the house. So, and I don't mean like go shopping, although I do that, but I take a walk around the block or I go to a fitness class or I do something that's getting my body moving and getting it outside and getting some fresh air and some vitamin D. Most African Americans or anyone with melanin skin, vitamin D is an issue for us, especially women as well. So I'm mindful of, yes, I could take supplements and that's great. And I do that. But the supplement is not needed if I'm just outside a little bit more. So I make sure that I do something, even if it's stretching. I think we downgrade or we don't give enough credit to the power of just stretching our bodies.
Let me tell you,
I
so
don't know if
good
you've ever
in
like
the
looked up a
morning.
YouTube video on stretching, but it will have you sweating. Like if you do a
Mhm.
full stretch routine for an hour, you'll think you were just working out because
Mhm.
it's so important. And as I'm watching my parents age, it's a scary experience to be honest. But
Right, when you're not athletic or keeping it up, then your whole body just
yeah.
changes. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
but I'm watching them stretch and my dad walks and he's always since he retired, at least the last 15 years, walks about 2 to 3 miles,
Oh, that's
4 to 5
great.
times a day. I mean a week, not a day, a
Mhm.
week. And he's 77 and you wouldn't know it.
That's
Like my
amazing.
dad does everything for himself. He gets around, he does everything. Now, can he
First of all,
do
77, you acting like that's 90.
well, he's
Stop.
probably 80 years old.
I know a few 80 years old who's kicking it.
What? Who?
My you know, have you seen my mom? Have you met my mom?
Yeah, but she looks good for her age.
My
That's
mom
not
is like
normal.
76 years old.
That's not normal for her to be as functional as she is. Like, I think you just 'cause it's your mom, you're like, everyone's like, "It's not." Like,
My mom is hot to trot, okay?
that's not normal. Like, I'm telling you, like, I had a family member who was in, like, a rehab facility. We went in there, most of the people in there were in their late 60s, 70s.
That's crazy.
So, our parents, that's
Listen,
not normal.
I'm about to be in the streets at 80,
Lord
okay?
Jesus, it's gonna be a fire, and I really don't doubt it. That's the problem. I really don't doubt it. But no, like being your body's been on this earth almost 80 years. That's 8 decades. So yeah, if I'm
Mhm.
already 35 and my knees be kneeing, like another 30 years, I gotta stretch. Like you have to do it now because when you get older, you can't try new things. Like
Mhm.
your body will be like, nah, you should have did this 30 years ago. So I'm being more mindful of that. If it's not stretching, if it's not, I need to do something every day even when I'm tired, especially when I'm tired, there's especially like after church, after I just ate, I
Mm.
want to go immediately and nap, like
Oh,
immediately, but I'll force myself to take at least a walk around the block. And I
okay.
usually get a boost of energy, and then my nap doesn't feel like my nap will literally be an hour instead of like 5 because it's not
Oh.
itis, it's not food, having me in a comatose
You
sleep.
can take a nap after a walk?
No, well, yeah, if I'm that tired, I could do like an hour nap or something,
Oh,
but I
no.
won't be as
You
sleepy as I
can
was
nap on
before.
demand. I only can
Yeah, I
nap when
can't.
I'm, like, about to pass out.
No, I can nap at any time. Any time, any place.
That's hilarious.
Anytime, any place. But the problem is I can nap throughout the day, but when it's time to go to bed, I'm up. It makes
Mhm,
no sense. When it's time
mhm.
to really go to bed, I'll be like Energizer Bunny.
That's
But
great.
if it's like 2 o'clock and I'm supposed to be working, I can take a nap. So it
Mhm,
makes no sense. But
mhm.
yeah, so that's mine. Number 6, I make room for wellness.
Yes. So I do too. So we've talked about this before, but Dr. Giovanni, she's an amazing nutritionist,
Mhm,
and having a customized vitamin regimen, it makes such the difference. If you can get something like that, I know they have stuff on like online where there's like you can get some customized vitamins. Find a nutritionist that focuses on supplements and like knows about them, who could do your blood work and do all that jazz. If you can make room for that, I would definitely say that is a huge win for a daily habit because before the turmeric drink, all I had was vitamins. And those vitamins were helping me balance my hormones as well so that I can have less mood swings and I would have just get through the day. My days would be much smoother because my
mhm.
hormones were balancing out.
Yeah,
They were like I said, with thyroid, weight, all that stuff. It was just my body was just inflamed and under attack. It felt like all the time. So having the right medication, even having the right supplements really helped. I was so much so that I was able to get off of the doctor prescribed thyroid medication because
love
which
that.
wasn't helping me. It was like stopped my thyroid from working to getting on the supplement where it was helping my thyroid increase and get
Juice.
better and produce exactly that having I mean I'm sure that's a luxury, but it's a luxury that you should go for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, when I have the same I went to the same doctor, Leonie, because she recommended her, and it absolutely helped me. I still take digestive enzymes because of her. No one ever mentioned to me anything about digestive enzymes before. And I've gone to a lot of doctors, especially when I first moved to Texas, because I just felt like I was tired all the time, and there's no reason for it. Like I'm like, why am I always tired?
Right.
And she did my blood work. One thing she said, I'm highly stressed. My cortisol levels are really, really high. My vitamin D was really, really low, and then my all my numbers were all over the place.
Mhm.
And it's all gut health essentially.
Mhm.
And so the digestive enzymes changed a lot for me. The vitamin D changed a lot for me, like all the things. So it's a great way to at least get a pulse on where you're at, because everyone starts at a different spot, a different place, different things. And it's so easy to go on YouTube and find like this person tells you do this saves your life. But if you don't know what your body specifically needs, then it
Correct.
won't be as effective, you know?
Exactly, exactly. That's such a good tip, and I forgot what I was gonna say next, so we could did you have anything else for that one?
Yeah, no, that's it. And then number 7.
All right. So, number 7, thought replacement. And this can go in line with affirmations. So, transforming your negative thoughts to empowering ones. And so, what I learned from my therapist is I do tend to, especially around, that in a point at a certain point in my cycle where negative thoughts are just
Mhm.
like intrusive and then they start to permeate through like my whole body and I just start to feel low and down and like sometimes I feel like I can get in a depressed state. And so in those times, for a daily habit, I have to speak to myself kindly. I have to have
Mhm.
grace for myself, and I have those things where I'm like, I'm not this, or I, suck at this, or whatever it is. It's like that's not you have. I have to say I am good at this. I am, kind to myself. I'm being patient. I am worthy. All the things that will help me get out of whatever negative thing I'm feeling. So yeah,
No, no,
that's what
it's
I focus.
important. I always remind myself, like, if I wouldn't let anyone else talk to me like that, I'm not gonna talk to myself like that. And then vice versa, if don't let anyone else talk to you like that, So just being
Mhm.
mindful of what you're allowing into your self-esteem, because I think we have to protect it. We have to protect our confidence, we have to protect our peace, our joy, because the enemy wants any route in, right? And so
Mhm.
it could start with you being so hard on yourself. I feel like I've noticed that. I don't know if any men or any fellas were watching our podcast, but I think men are really, really hard on themselves. I think it's because women are taught to fight for our confidence, men aren't.
Mm,
And I think it starts with thought replacement. How do you think of yourself? What do you believe of yourself? Now, I'm not saying don't be arrogant. We're not asking you to walk around here like you're better than anyone else. We just want you to make sure that you're your best self. And I think thought replacement is the first step in that. When you feel like you're picking at your skin or picking at your shape or picking at your wardrobe or picking at your job, stop, and figure out how to rephrase that. No, I love that.
Right. For me, it's, picking at my accomplishments or my what I perceive as my lack of accomplishments,
Mhm.
and so I have to remind myself of the things that I have accomplished and operate from a place of abundance. Like, I live an abundant life. That is that's really the thing that I have to remind myself that I have to replace those negative thoughts with all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Mhm.
I love that. Well, number 8 is I build my day or I start my day and end my day with praise and a plan. So
Mhm.
in those mornings that I was talking about where I do a slow start, I also when I'm getting dressed, when I make it to the bathroom, I'm playing gospel music or inspirational music. If it's not gospel, it's indie Irie, something indie
Mhm.
Irie. Just because I want, like I said, I want to set the tone for my day. And I do the same thing at the end of my day when I'm showering and getting ready for bed. I put a little playlist on so that I'm waking up in peace and going to bed in peace. 'Cause I don't want to wake up on any type of negative energy or go to bed on any type of or negative energy because it will set the tone for my day, for my week, for my month. And although I love R&B, I love a little bit of hip hop, I love a little bit of that. These people be having little demons they struggling with when they writing some of these songs. Okay. And I feel them because I have my little breakup playlist from the past when I had a breakup, and I'll be like, "He ain't," no, 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 all the things. And although those
Well,
songs,
get it about it.
uh, uh, can't mess with me, if you, all the things, okay? Now, although those songs got me through and helped me channel my anger in those moments, I do not want to harp on those moments, harp on those feelings, or dwell on those emotions because it is toxic over time, right?
Yeah,
So
overtime.
so I do my best to like I have my time, like middle of the day, I'll listen to whatever I'm gonna listen to, but start my day and end my day with inspiration, with positivity, with peace. 'Cause I
Yeah,
don't want my mind as I'm resting to ruminate on negative because it will
yeah.
do that. So
Yeah, ruminating on negative is definitely something that is what is the word? Persistent or
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
No.
But I like the part where did you have more on that one?
No, that was it.
I like the part also about a plan. So,
Yeah, I didn't mention that part. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
so one thing that I liked, I read, an article where Beyoncé talks about being more disciplined, taking a more disciplined approach to planning her work days and her life now. So before we remember we used to see Beyoncé out, like, at everything, doing everything. She had people were like, "Girl, take a break, sit down, you look
Yeah.
tired, sit
Uh-huh.
down."
Yeah, I
And
remember that
now
year.
she's those years, that was,
I
like, a
remember.
while.
I was so tired of seeing her. But
Right.
go ahead.
So now she's like she has 3 kids now, and she's, very protective of her peace. There's something about becoming a mother that makes you very, very protective of your environment, and I hear mom after mom say that, like, since having a kid, they're like, there are some things that they tolerated before that they will not tolerate now,
Mm,
and I this probably is where she's coming from with this, but she, did an interview with GQ where she said she structure fuels her creativity. So a lot of people, I think, they come from a place of, well, if you have a plan, if you plan too much, then you don't leave room for wonder, and you want to have like a wonderless type of life or whatever. You want to be free, without barriers or whatever. But for many people, you think that you're being productive when you just have nothing in order. But
mhm.
order breeds creativity
Yeah.
because you have a space to handle your things, and you have a space to be free, and they don't have to, intermix. So I think that's really important to start your day off with a plan of how, or start your week off with a plan. Something that me and my husband do separately, but it's a habit that we both have, is like doing a brain dump where we write out what everything we need to get done so that we can go pick it and organize it. And so that definitely helps you have a more efficient, productive day.
Yeah, yeah, no, I love that. What I forgot to mention, no, I started to do the same thing only probably about 3 months, but on Sundays. Sunday is my prep day.
Mhm.
So I look at my work schedule for the week because I meet with clients, so I look at who I'm meeting with. I try to prepare for those meetings on Sunday.
Mhm.
If not Sunday, 2 days before, but I try to do it on Sunday. Plan out, do I have errands I need to run this week? I'm doing that. So what's going on there? Is there any place I'm supposed to be outside of the normal this week? I try to get all of my main major agenda items done on Sunday. So that when I'm starting Monday, I'm not feeling like, what am I supposed to do this week? Did I forget something? Like I know what's ahead of me. So no, it does help. It's helped me so much when it comes to being overwhelmed, especially in a new job that I have. It's a lot more time consuming. It's a lot more camera on, client facing. So I hated getting in meetings and feeling like, man, I have time to prepare for this. I didn't anticipate this question. Now I feel flustered, right?
Mhm.
So taking that time just to plan it out, it makes a difference.
Yeah, even if you just start by getting it all out of your head. And then we definitely have a tool for you being able to write out all of your ideas, your thoughts, the things you have to do so you can organize them throughout the days and the weeks. And that will be linked below as well so that you have a tool to actually help you be more productive. So definitely check that out. And I also wanted to give another tip, like a little bonus before we get to the last item, which is I saw an interview with Coco Jones where
Mhm.
she was getting ready. She was doing her morning routine. And something that I really liked from that is when we talk about, setting your intentions for the day and having a good daily habit, we have affirmations, we have the music, the inspirational music. But something that I really like that she did is to spark joy when she wakes up is she wears pajamas that she likes. So at
Hmm.
night, so she had, I don't know about you, but do you watch The Office? I'm a humongous Office fan. Like, I
Okay.
really wanna go to an Office trivia night because I'm, like, that huge of a fan, and she had on Dunder Mifflin pajamas, and so Dunder Mifflin is the company that everybody's working at the office,
Okay.
and
Okay.
so when I saw that, I was like I chuckled because I'm like, "That is first of all, that's so cute, and I already know who you are because you have on Dunder Mifflin pajamas." First of all, where did you get those? It's not even a real company. So that's how I know that you're a huge Office fan. And she was like, I wear this so I could wake up and I can have a piece of joy. So doing something at night so you know that you could wake up and still have that little piece of joy is also it's all cyclical. It all works together.
I love that. I love that.
Mhm.
I never thought about doing that. I never planned out pajamas in that way, like, to make me happy, so I love
Mhm.
that. Maybe
That's
I'll
something we could try. We should get
yeah,
some Giggles
maybe
and Goals
we
pajamas.
should. Okay, we'll
Yes.
work on that for y'all.
Okay, okay. Ooh,
But
actually, yes.
we should.
That's some merch for us.
Let's
Okay.
jump to number 9.
Okay, so number 9 is thinking of you messages. So something that I saw a YouTube podcast thing, and they were talking about like having strong relationships, and it was talking about specifically like how people are popular and why people are popular. And one of the things they noticed is that popular people do they connect with people more often. Obviously, it's like tomatoes, like one feeds the other, but they they can if you see something that like a book or a drink or something where you were out, it's like, hey, I saw this, I was thinking about you, or hey, I got this for you because I was thinking I this made me think of you. And so I, as somebody who has notoriously been like anti communication with everybody, that's something I've slowly starting to adopt because I still need to get better at it to where I'm out and I'm like I am things make me think of people more so I could do like little small gifts or give more text messages. And I have my seasons when I do it, so it's not a daily habit that I've nailed down every day yet, but it's I know it's something that makes me feel better because I it helps me not be so self-absorbed for one, and know that if one of my goals is to build community, then it makes you feel good to know that that's something that you're working towards every day.
I love that. I would say that is something that I do, but I never thought about it being like a thing. I
Yeah.
think it's probably the middle child in me. I was with my cousins today and we were talking about like the birth order of things. And older children are usually bossy. Middle children are usually like we more people pleasers. So the thinking of you is because we're middle children, and then babies are usually in their own
Oh,
world.
well, me, I'm always in my own world.
Yeah, so my little brother is that way. Like the last year or so, he's been more intentional about like calling and checking on me, but only because we complained about it for like the first 18 years of his life. And so now
I'm
my
like, "How old am I?" I'm still getting complaints.
no, we complain about it. So like my dad, I think my dad tells him to do it. He claims that he thinks to text me on his own, but it feels scripted. But
Did you take your sisters?
yeah,
But
pretty much because I'll
yeah.
tell on him. Like I'll tell. I'm like, oh, dad, I texted him and he read it and didn't respond. And then my
Oh,
dad will tell
his
him and
read
he'll
receipts are on?
yes.
See, that's silly. Now that's just egregious and rude. I turn my read receipts off because I know I don't reply.
No, he leaves them on and I'll call him. Did you see it? Yeah.
That feels like an attack.
That's why I tell on him. Yes, I'm a grown adult and I tell. I tell. Okay. So then later, he'll call. Sorry, sister. I didn't mean to ignore your text message. How are you doing
Oh, you
today?
did mean to, because you put your read receipts on. Listen.
Listen, listen.
But I actually don't be by my phone. I just want anybody, any family who's hearing this, I don't really be on my phone like that. When I look at my screen time, it's like between 2 to 3 hours. I don't really be on my phone. Is that a lot of
Everything
time?
you need is little Maverick and Robert. So
Exactly. I'm like, that's it. And then if you really need to get in touch with me, you'll call Robert.
no, I feel like I'm because I've been out of California since 2016. So I've been away from most of my family and friends since 2016. So my phone is my lifeline.
Mhm.
It's my connection to people. So I'm always attached to my phone.
Well, that's why you're popular, because you like to be connected to people. I
Well,
like to
because
be
but
by myself.
I like it remote. I realize. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
I'm
I
not
prefer in person. It's like I like small connections in person. I don't like having to be thinking about my phone. I like to like just not be thinking about it.
no, I love a remote bestie. Like I'm great with less Zoom, less FaceTime, less voice note. Now, if you want me to show up to
I
everything,
do
that's
love a voice note.
you know what I mean? Like in person, like to go on a birthday party, showing up to the things, that's a lot harder for me. Like even my family out here, my little cousin Brielle and Blake, they're in all the sports and showing up to these games. Like I made one today and I was really proud of myself, but it made me late for podcast. But
Oh.
I made it to a game today because I haven't been to one all year, and then she gets so excited when I show up. So I'm like, "Ugh,
Aw.
I want to show up for her, but Lord, showing up to all the things. I remember my cousin Ryan. I forgot his birthday party one year. I'm like, I forgot. So when it comes to me needing to physically be at some sort of something, that's harder for me. If it
Mhm.
comes to me remembering to call you, text you, I could do that. That's no problem. But in person obligations are a lot harder for me.
I'm actually bad on both ends, so
Oh
pray for
Lord, you.
me. Pray for me, please. I need to do better.
But no, I love our 9. I mean, it was a combination of both of our habits. Some things you
Yeah.
guys heard, one of us is doing, the other one isn't. But collectively, I think our list can help someone. So let us
Right.
know.
It's somebody out there. Somebody's getting help.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, I feel like my best self over the last few months. And I'm the type who's always evaluating what
Mhm.
I'm doing, how I'm interacting with the world, what
How to
habits I
improve.
have
Yeah.
all the time just because I want to be happy. Like I want to
Mhm.
be happy. I want to be healthy. I want to feel energized. So I'm always trying to figure out what do I need to change? What do I need to, and so where I'm at right now, the only thing that I want to do more is stay consistent. I want to make sure that
Yes.
I do everything that I'm doing consistently because I know there'll be a week that I don't do anything. I'm like, oh, you missed this week. So
Mhm.
the consistency of these habits over a long period of time is something that I'm excited to see for how I do. But I do love the habits that I've picked up.
Yes, I agree. Oh, something. So another thing I learned from Atomic Habits, but I
Mhm,
reminded of it when I was watching that interview with Coco Jones, and she had like an affirmations player where it just play it out loud. She would repeat it, but she was doing that while she was brushing her teeth, and so that reminded me of habit stacking, which I learned from Atomic Habits, which is when you want to introduce a new habit, then do it with something that you a habit that you're already doing. So that helps you to introduce it, and then it helps you be consistent because it goes in tandem with something that you have to do. Like,
mhm.
brushing your teeth, taking a shower, making breakfast, whatever it is, like you just mix those habits together to introduce it into your routine.
I love that. I love that. Well,
Uh-huh.
let's jump to our next and pretty much our last segment, the
Mhm.
stand on
And
business.
on business.
Yeah.
I
Do you
like
want to
saying it
go
like with
first?
that. I'm standing on business. Okay.
Business.
All right. So mine's is be unwavering in your priorities. It's more important for you to be grounded than to compromise to fit someone else's agenda.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is you don't have to be loud, you just have to be consistent. Your habits are doing the work even when no one claps.
That's good.
And I'm going to mention this at the end of this because I just saw the interview recently, but Michelle Obama was recently interviewed and they're asking her pretty much why she wasn't at the inauguration and some of the other political things leading up because there's all these rumors that they're getting a divorce, just all the things. And so in her interview, she said, I still find time, to give speeches and be out there in the world to work on projects, but I still care about my girls' education. So she's saying I still prioritize those things. But her main thing was the thing about us women is we struggle with disappointing people. And she was just saying that she just decided this year to do what she needed to do for herself. Yeah. To make this her yeses are a yes to her. Her commitments are things that she wants to do. She has decided to choose her priorities over everyone else's priorities.
Right. Somebody else's agenda. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. And so she said her last quote was her making the choice to choose herself. It's crazy that because she was choosing herself, people assumed that she was getting a divorce. No one could fathom.
Yes, yes. We were like, why is she not at dinner with Obama? Why is she
She's
missing
not the
these
first
other things?
lady
First of all,
anymore.
she stood on business when she said, I'm not going to those people's events. Y'all could go and be chummy, but I'm not. And I respected her for that.
Yeah, so she just decided to start making choices for herself, prioritizing herself. And I think a big part of finding out the daily habits to change your life is being willing to take away the excuses that come with other people's expectations as to why
Mhm.
you're not doing these habits.
Yeah.
It's
Break that down a
okay.
little bit.
So most of the time we'll say, well, I can't do that because, right? And usually the because is connected to someone else. So I can't go to the gym because I need to make sure my husband has this in the morning. Or I can't go to the gym because my boss wants me to, like, there's always an excuse connected to it.
Right.
Or
But
sometimes it's
say,
just,
oh, go
or
ahead.
sometimes it's just like, I don't like to go to the gym with other people because I don't know what I'm doing. I know that was my thing. Like I don't want to go to the gym because I'm not an athlete. I don't know what I'm doing in there. I don't want to be embarrassed. There's always these different things or different reasons why we're not having the life that we want to have or we're not living in the truth that we want to. But at the end of the day, it's our life. We only have one of them. And I just hope that at the end of my life, I'm able to say I was a great person to everyone else, but I was also a great person to myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person who was a martyr to everyone else, but I was miserable because I made no choices that made me happy. And
Yeah.
I think figuring out your daily habits, yes, don't be selfish, don't be a jerk, right? But figuring out how do I get close to these habits that I know will change my life. Um, but maybe people have to adjust to it for a bit. What can I do? Because at the end of the day, it's your life. We all have the same 24 hours. How do you manage it in a way that makes you happy?
Yeah. That's good.
So I'm always huge on like turning down the people pleaser parts of us because it's so easy to let that derail us and stop us from being who we want to be.
Yes. So I hope that you found something helpful and useful in this episode and that let us know if there's anything that you can add to this, anything that you've taken away from. If you tried anything, doesn't matter how far in the future it is, let us know so we can know if
Yeah.
this is actually, fruitful.
Yes. And be sure to follow us, be sure to subscribe, be sure to like and share and let us know what you think. Comments, tell us your daily tips. Maybe there's something that we didn't add to our list that you're doing that's changing your life. So we want to know because we want to add to our list. So share. We're here about sharing. We're not here gatekeeping. So let us know. And we love y'all. We'll see you next week.
Yes, and if you really enjoyed this video, then I want you to really lock into our strategy and planning series because that series will help you take all these tips to the next level. So watch the next video. Thank you.
Oh, we're not supposed to do this anymore because we're millennial. It shows that we're millennial.
Yeah,
Okay. Bye,
stop
guys.
it. Bye.